I rise like the sun sometimes, but then I fall. Like a black moon, I rise when the night falls. When the night falls, the mic calls, so listen, it's the ultraviolet rays that keep me rising on the mission.
Welcome back, all my Exceed the Hype beast. Remember, hit that subscribe button because you never know when I'm going to drop a video on your favorite team. Carmelo Anthony is still the man. All right. I know a lot of people have been down on him the last couple seasons, especially last season, but I'm here to tell you Carmelo Anthony still has what it takes to help a good team get to the next level. So let's talk about last season. I got news for you, man. Playing with Russell Westbrook is not the easiest thing in the world. Now, taking nothing away from him, Russell Westbrook is one of the premier guards in our league, but when it comes to pure point guard play and the type of point guard that Carmelo Anthony has had success with in the past, Russell Westbrook is not exactly that player. So let's talk about who he's had success with in the past. He has his most success with Chauncey Billups in Denver and Jason Kidd in New York. All right, those were two very, very pure point guards. Chauncey Billups probably slightly less than Jason Kidd, but Jason Kidd is as pure of a point guard as it could ever be. And it's easy to see why he had his most success with those guys, because those were guys who controlled the offense. So let's talk about last year. 2016-2017, Carmelo Anthony played in 74 contests with the Thunder, 34 minutes a game, 19 field goal attempts, which he shot at 43%, and he also shot 5 free throws. He ultimately averaged 22.4 points per game in 2016-2017 with the Knicks. Then when he got to OKC, he played 4 more games, 74 games, 32 minutes, not a big drop off in minutes, a big drop off in field goal attempts. He only had 15 field goal attempts his last year in OKC. He shot at 40%. His free throws dropped in half, basically 2.5 free throws, and he averaged 16.2 points per game. In my opinion, this is not evident of a decline, it's evident of fit. I don't think he fit very well with Russell Westbrook, and Paul George also had a lot of issues, but he found a way to fit in and become the co-star that Russell Westbrook needs. However, Carmelo Anthony, not so much. He kind of didn't really ever know where he fit with this team. So I think if we saw him in a better situation next year, we will see a better Carmelo Anthony. He can still score with the best of them. I actually believe that the 2017 Cavs should have really tried harder to get him, because he would have helped them out in that finals loss versus Golden State in 5 games. So let's talk about where he might go, which teams would have the most interest in him. The Los Angeles Lakers come to mind. Obviously, they're putting together a team. Still, right now they have LeBron and a bunch of young people. They have Lance Stevenson, they have JaVale McGee, they have Rajon Rondo, and they brought KCP back. They still need, more scoring, more veteran leadership. Not that Carmelo is necessarily the best veteran leader, but he does provide some form of veteran leadership, and he's somebody who could play off LeBron because he's such a hired gun type of a scorer. He doesn't need a whole lot of play calls for him. You can just kind of kick it to him and he can take you there more times than not. With the Lakers, he would be a major part of their offense. He would probably start at the 4. He'd probably get up about 17 shots per game, and who knows, maybe Dwayne Wade also comes over once he sees his banana boat crew surrounded by a bunch of young talent like Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. And then the other fit that comes to mind right away is obviously the Houston Rockets. There was a lot of talk in the media last year about how Houston wanted him so bad, and this and that and this and that. However, the only thing they were willing to parse with was Ryan Anderson and his $20 million contract, which nobody wants. So it begged the question, how much did the Rockets really want Carmelo that they weren't really willing to give up or take back very much with? If he went to the Rockets, he would have to accept a smaller role, kind of like he had to do in OKC, which he was very professional. Now, he gets a bad rap in this league. However, last year he was very professional. He did not complain. He did not do anything but kind of take it on the nose the whole season. So would he accept a smaller role to play with Chris Paul, one of his buddies, and James Harden? We'll see. But he would have to take a smaller role. Another thing I'm looking at with the Rockets fit, and people may scoff at this, but PJ Tucker is a lot better than most people realize. PJ Tucker would take a whole lot of minutes away from Carmelo Anthony. PJ Tucker in the playoffs rebounded like a beast. He was very good with his corner threes, and he was very good defensively. it is very, very, very hard to take a player like that off of the court. Now, they could potentially play together. PJ Tucker probably at 4 and Carmelo at 3 with James Harden and Chris Paul, and probably Clint Capella if he returns. I could totally see that. But if you're looking at Carmelo to play minutes at the 4 or at the 3, really, depending on what kind of lineups you want to play, PJ Tucker will take a lot of minutes away from him unless you plan on playing them together. So that's something that you would also have to look at. And also, wasn't there an issue with Mike D'Antoni and Carmelo in New York? Will Carmelo really want to play for D'Antoni again? Carmelo didn't appreciate the way he was being used by D'Antoni in the past. So we'll see. Ultimately, no matter where he goes, especially if it's to one of these two teams, Carmelo Anthony is still a game changer. And he's still somebody who can help put your team over the top at the end of the day. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section, all my hype beasts. Remember, if you enjoyed the content, hit that like button. And as always, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and get subscribed and join the Exceed the Hype Squad or the Exceed the Hype Beast, whatever you want to call it. All right, see you next time.